Significant updates have emerged surrounding the Lakers' approach to this year's draft, just hours before they're scheduled to make a pick in the second round. After orchestrating a trade to improve their positioning, LA now finds itself in a much stronger spot to grab a valuable piece with upside, despite the lower odds typically associated with second-round talent. A fresh report has surfaced, shedding light on the direction the Lakers plan to go and the specific player they appear to be targeting. We're going to break down all the details regarding this new development and what it could mean as the franchise navigates a critical stretch of the offseason. Before we dive into all the breaking draft information and the rumors swirling around the organization, a quick reminder: if you haven't already subscribed, now's the time. If you're a Lakers fan or just enjoy keeping up with everything happening in LA, subscribing helps us continue putting out consistent and engaging content. There's plenty to unpack today. Yes, we already covered the Austin Reaves buzz, and there's growing talk about names like Herb Jones and Andrew Wiggins being linked to LA. But now the spotlight is squarely on pick number 45, a selection the Lakers recently acquired in a small but strategic move. The front office sent out their original no. 55 pick in exchange for number 45, giving them a real shot at landing a player they've had their eyes on. According to a recent article, likely from the LA Times, there's growing confidence that this move was designed specifically to target Ryan Kalkbrenner, the 7'1" center out of Creighton. Despite being older than most prospects at 23, Kalkbrenner's production last season speaks for itself. Nearly 20 points per game, 9 rebounds, an efficient 66% from the floor, and an intriguing 34% shooting clip from beyond the arc. Those numbers don't lie, and they're a big reason the Lakers felt it was worth jumping up 10 spots. The question now becomes whether or not he'll still be available when their number is called. It wouldn't be shocking at all if the Lakers continued making calls to move up further, especially with Kalkbrenner projected as an early second-round selection. Some insiders believe that teams picking closer to 30 may already be circling him. And that leads us to a few more key pieces of intel. Brad Turner has echoed similar sentiments, confirming LA's serious interest in positioning themselves for a shot at Kalkbrenner. But not all sources are optimistic he'll be there at 45. Brett Siegel posted earlier that teams hoping to snag Kalkbrenner or Maxim Reyno, a similarly intriguing big man, would likely need to get in the first few picks on day 2 of the draft. The Lakers currently sit at 45, and while it's a meaningful improvement, it may not be enough if the front office doesn't act again soon. Could another trade be on the horizon? Possibly. But moving into the mid-30s would come at a higher price, likely involving future draft assets. Teams like Boston, holding pick 32, won't be letting it go for just cash. That said, the Lakers already made their most recent move by spending $2.5 million to jump those 10 spots, which shows they're willing to invest when they see the right opportunity. It helps that their ownership group has financial flexibility, especially under newer leadership like Mark Walter. Now, before we get to another prospect they're monitoring, let's take a closer look at Kalkbrenner's profile and why the Lakers seem locked in on him. First, let's acknowledge something that not many are talking about. The Lakers have quietly become one of the better drafting teams in the second round. Think back to selections like Max Christie or others who have exceeded expectations after being drafted outside the lottery. That gives this current move even more weight. When draft analysis becomes more refined every year, the margin for finding real talent deep into the board grows narrower, but so does the potential for identifying underrated gems. That's what the Lakers appear to be aiming for with this maneuver. Looking specifically at Ryan Kalkbrenner's body of work at Creighton, averaging 19.2 points in the Big East, anchoring the paint on both ends, this isn't a flyer. This is a calculated bet on a player with real tools, and it could end up paying off in a big way, pulling down close to double-digit rebounds per contest, which is impressive by college standards. He also averaged nearly 3 blocks per game last season and held a steady shot-blocking presence throughout his entire collegiate career. After spending 5 full years at the college level, his maturity and durability stand out. He appeared in nearly every game each season. It's the kind of consistency and experience that's rare, and it's exactly why he's viewed as such an appealing fit for a team like the Lakers. Now, realistically, no one expects a second-round selection to step in and instantly claim a starting spot. But what's intriguing is that at various points throughout the year, Ryan Kalkbrenner was appearing on some mock draft boards in the late first round. Several analysts even had him ranked inside their top 25. If the Lakers front office, led by Rob Pelinka, and the scouting department believes he's their guy, they might still try to maneuver into a better position, or at the very least, cross their fingers he's still there at number 45. As Brett Siegel mentioned, there's a good chance other franchises are eyeing him as well. His stats alone make it easy to understand why. Strong interior defense, efficient scoring, and just enough three-point shooting to suggest he could stretch the floor. Though he only attempted around 2 threes per game, he connected enough to earn respect out there. His ability to play alongside stars like LeBron or even Luka in a theoretical fit makes him even more attractive. And for those wondering whether he'd be stashed in the G League for a full season, the answer is probably no. Given his extended college experience, he's much more NBA-ready than most second-round picks. Throughout his time in the Big East, he grew into one of the most reliable bigs in the nation. As a junior, he averaged 13 points and earned recognition as a top high school player in Missouri, before choosing Creighton over more prominent programs like Kansas, Stanford, and Purdue. This past season, his fifth and final, was by far his best. He was named to the All-American Third Team, won the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Award, and took home multiple defensive honors, including both the NABC and Naismith Defensive Player of the Year awards. The accolades make it very easy to understand why the Lakers have identified him as a top target, and why they might not be the only ones. Of course, it's not just about Kalkbrenner. If he ends up being selected before the Lakers get their chance, the team could pivot toward another need, perhaps an athletic wing who can defend and shoot from deep. That's always a valuable profile to add to a LeBron-led roster. Still, there's no question that the primary focus right now is the 7'1" big man from Creighton. However, the front office likely has a contingency plan in place if he's taken earlier. That's where another name enters the conversation: Rocco Zikarsky. A 7'3" center from Australia, Zikarsky has also been linked to the Lakers for quite some time. According to Brett Siegel and other sources, the Lakers had an eye on him even back when they held the 55th pick. Zikarsky declared for the draft, but there's uncertainty about whether he'll be selected at all. Despite limited production overseas, reportedly averaging just 4 points per game, his size and physical tools make him an intriguing project. There's a chance the Lakers still consider Zikarsky at 45, but that would suggest they believe strongly in his long-term development. Compared to someone like Kalkbrenner, who's proven and polished, Zikarsky represents more of a gamble. The front office must weigh whether it's worth taking a swing on raw potential versus grabbing someone who can contribute right away. And if Zikarsky isn't the pick and Kalkbrenner is off the board, don't rule out the possibility of the Lakers targeting a versatile 3-and-D wing. That type of player continues to be a premium asset in today's game, especially for teams like the Lakers, who need depth at both ends of the floor. Of course, trade possibilities remain in play. They could still look to move up closer to the early 30s, but that would cost significantly more than the $2.5 million they spent moving from 55 to 45. They'd need to part with real future assets, and that's not a move to take lightly. As draft night unfolds, it's going to be fascinating to see how this all plays out. The Lakers have shown they're not afraid to be aggressive if they believe the right player is within reach. Based on everything we know, Ryan Kalkbrenner is that player. But if things don't break their way, expect a plan B to be ready. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Should the Lakers go all in on Kalkbrenner, or take a chance on a wing or raw prospect like Zikarsky? Either way, LA appears determined to get value out of this draft pick. Stay tuned for more updates as the clock ticks closer to draft time. We'll be keeping you posted with every key development, and as soon as the Lakers make their pick, you can expect a breakdown right here, so stay close and don't miss a beat. Thanks again for being here. and we'll catch you very soon. But now let's dive into some breaking news. The Lakers have just finalized a new trade, making things a lot more interesting as we approach the second round of the draft. On top of that, there's a major update involving Austin Reaves that's got fans buzzing. We're going to unpack everything in this update-heavy edition. But before we jump into the details, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for consistent Lakers news, updates, and draft coverage. Your support means a lot, and it keeps the daily content flowing. Earlier today, I dropped a video discussing some potential trade developments and referenced insights from Brian Windhorst. Well, now we've got confirmation that a move actually went down. Rob Pelinka and company have made something happen. While this isn't a league-shaking transaction, it's a move that could carry real consequences as the night unfolds. So let's break down exactly what happened. The Lakers have traded up in the draft, climbing from the 55th pick to the 45th by striking a deal with the Bulls. In exchange, they sent their original second-rounder and some cash consideration. It's not a blockbuster deal on its face, but when a team jumps 10 spots in the draft using only financial assets, you know they've identified a prospect they believe won't last much longer. It's not every day you see a front office this intentional about a mid-second round selection, so this signals a targeted move. The Lakers clearly didn't want to wait and risk losing out on whoever they've set their sights on. They're not making this leap just for the sake of it. Someone specific caught their eye, and they want to be in position to secure that player before another team beats them to it. Now, why would this jump even be necessary? Well, towards the end of the first round, there were a number of surprise picks. Players projected for the second round getting scooped earlier than expected. As a result, other intriguing prospects began sliding into the middle of the second round, creating real value in the 40s range. That movement triggered the Lakers to act. There's strong reason to believe they've been given some type of verbal assurance or intel from a player or agent that made them believe the number at 45 spot was critical. Remember, second-round negotiations work differently from the first. Players can hold out for two-way deals, negotiate more flexibly, or even delay signing their first contract altogether. So when a team like the Lakers decides to jump up like this, it usually means there's a mutual understanding with a prospect, someone they didn't think would fall all the way to 55, but now might just be within reach. The team has done this kind of thing before. They made similar moves in past drafts with guys like Max Christie and Maxwell Lewis. Funny enough, both named Mac. But who exactly are they targeting this time? That remains the big mystery. The front office has definitely done its homework, and their recent history suggests they don't make these trades without being pretty confident in the outcome. A lot of names have been floating around, especially centers. There's ongoing uncertainty at that position, and while they haven't acquired a big man through a trade yet, there are some clear options still on the board. Roque Zakarsky is one of them, someone we've covered previously. The Lakers have expressed interest in him and other emerging talents who could fill that void. Still, it's not a lock that they go for a center at all. They could pivot and grab a guard or a wing with defensive upside. It really depends on who's still available and how the board shakes out over the next few hours. But again, the headline here is that Los Angeles is moving up the board. They're not doing it just to be active. They're targeting a specific piece. And what's particularly intriguing is how this ties into their financial strategy around the second apron of the salary cap. When a team operates near the second apron, like the Lakers currently are, it changes how they approach roster building, especially with young talent. Sending cash to move up and draft a player instead of signing a veteran could help them avoid stricter cap penalties. It's a smart cap-conscious move that may pay off both in the short and long term. And so here we are, Lakers fans now sitting in a pivotal moment. Who's the player they're after? Will they make yet another trade to move up even higher? Or will they stay at 45 and hope their guy falls into place? Whatever happens, you'll hear about it here first. The front office has proven once again they're not just waiting around this offseason. There's a clear plan in place, and we're seeing it unfold in real time. Be sure to drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think they're eyeing? Is this just the beginning of more moves to come?